Hello, everyone. It has been 4 days since Jana posted part 2 of her wedding video, and today I just wanted to react to that as we did with part 1, and we're going to give some FUNDIE news at the end. Let's get right into it. So I might have to, honestly, they're playing some music. I might have to mute it, but as you can see here, we got James and Jason as ushers. I don't know who these old people are. They probably like in Michelle's family or a Wisman grandmother. In the background. Okay, we've got right here, obviously, last time I talked about Gunner. That is one of the Lost Boy friends, or like the older boy's friends. On the Wisman side here, and then this lady is like with them a lot. So on this side here we have the Duggar side, and then we have the Wisman side on the other side. So as you can see, we've got Santa. I don't know his real name like at all, but we've got a Jed here. I think that's Claire, Jeremy. That is their, the Duggar family pastor, and then obviously Stephen. There we have Hannah sitting on her brother's side instead of the Duggar side. Oh, I think I see a Bontrager right there. No, okay. I always get the Bowers and the Bontragers together because they have like 3 siblings who are married. There's Joe. So all the little flower girls. There's Nora, Ivy, some of Joe's kids, Jer's kid. There's all of Steven's family with his. He looks very happy. I always think about, I think the best like reaction to like of one of the sons to like their bride coming down the aisle was Joe's. Like he was about to lose it. I just know the pictures looked crazy, but he was about to lose it. It was actually really sweet.
Away. Her mother and I. Would you please, Stephen, take Jana's hand? Let's go to the Lord in a word of prayer. We pray tonight that you would be glorified, honored in everything that's said and done.
I've actually never heard this guy preach, so this is interesting. Like, obviously this isn't preaching, but it is interesting.
We thank you for this. In Christ's name we pray, amen. You may be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Stephen and Jana, thank you for coming today. Your presence here is deeply appreciated. It adds to the significance and the specialness of this night. As witnesses to this grand event, I believe you, as attendees, bear responsibility. I believe you have the responsibility to pray for Stephen and Jana.
Oh.
I believe you should pray for them through the service tonight, and I believe you should continue to pray for them through the years ahead. Well, here we are. You're a beautiful bride tonight. Stephen, you're not too shabby either. I thank you. You broke Guinness's World Book of Record for flower girls tonight. I think you did. It was special. It's a beautiful night, a beautiful venue, and here we are at this moment, and I could not be more delighted to see what God is doing and the work He's doing in your life, and for us to be a part of that. You know, your parents have prayed for this day for many years.
They always, the emphasis on many.
That God would bring the right one into each other's lives, and they believe that this is the fulfillment of those prayers right here before our eyes. Both aware.
All right, I just had to skip through because we had the first ad break at 3:39.
That marriage is a serious and a spiritual matter.
And this is a 24.5-minute video, part 2.
Matter that we shouldn't enter into lightly. God instituted marriage in the Garden of Eden because He saw it wasn't good for man to be alone. It's not good for Stephen to be alone. It was the Creator's idea, and with it, of course, He gave us a book that has all the instructions that we need so that we can thrive in our marriages. I want to give you both a short charge this evening, just some thoughts to make our night a little more special and for the health of your marriage. One of the things I learned both about you as we were just kind of spending a little time together is you both don't like change. If we were on a bar graph, you both pegged out resist change. And yet here you are with massive change in front of us. This one major decision is going to affect a million more.
Maybe that's, I mean, they'll both understand each other and how the other doesn't want to, they're a little bit more resistant to change, but it could also cause conflict. I wonder how that will turn out for them. But that's probably why they both waited a little bit longer than typically in their community to get married. There's a Jed head.
Jana, you're going to change your last name. You're going to change your schedules. You're going to change how you function and work together. You may have to change how you squeeze the toothpaste. There's a lot of change. There's going to be
I mean, she's going to move like across the country, halfway across the country. I wonder how she likes Nebraska. I don't know, like, what, I've never been there. I've never, like, really thought much about it. Like, I wonder what the vibe is there. I'm pretty sure they're from a pretty small town, though.
moments
When you're tired, you get on each other's nerves a little bit. And not that you'll ever stop loving each other, but you'll feel the coals, the embers, just like we do for God. And when that happens, remember first, our lack of practical love for each other always reveals my lack of love for God. You ever
We've got, okay, right here is John.
thought about the fact that so many times in the Bible that when you think about loving God, loving others is always coupled with it together. Now we think about that with others, neighbors, people that are hard to love, but if we could make some application to our spouse, Matthew 22, 37 through 39.
Okay, so we got like a wide shot over here on the Wistman side. It's a little bit more sparse than the Duggar side, naturally. I mean, just by the fact that they have all of those siblings. I wonder if okay, I can't zoom in. I don't see anybody. I'm on the lookout for Anna.
Jesus saith unto them, thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, with all thy mind. This is the
first and great commandment, and the second is likened to it, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I know this is very simple, and I know that you know this, but as your love for God grows, naturally, as a byproduct, your love for each other will grow. Even 1 John makes it simple as believers, and evidence is that we love the brethren. And as you love God, you can't help but to love each other more. Be fierce with your love for God, and you'll be fierce with your love for each other. A second thought is this: relationships are fixed vertically before they're ever fixed horizontally. When you have little bumps, and we all do, when you have little bumps along the way, and maybe you're trying to figure it out and work through the heart a little bit, remember, always go vertical first. And as you repair things vertically, it's easy to always repair things horizontally. Every now and again, there'll be a little hiccup, and you're going to need to make up, ask for forgiveness, a little cry and a kiss, get close again. But you always remember that you fix your problems vertically first, and then automatically horizontal will take place.
What does that mean? Am I stupid? Like, I just immediately think about fucking. Like, I think I might be dumb. I'm trying to figure out, like, what that means. I genuinely think I might be dumb right now.
Third thought is this: functional unity in our marriage. Understanding and love between a husband and wife can only be achieved when they both share a deep love for the same king and they pursue the same kingdom. As you unite in your love for your king, and you unite in the passion of his kingdom, your hearts will just merge together because your passion will be for him and his glory, and then you will always work in harmony. A lot of things will pull from your heart, your time, your focus, your energies. These cries may not all be wrong in themselves, but only the pursuit of the king and only the pursuit of his kingdom will unite and draw you together. I just got one more. Only when God is in his rightful place in your heart will you be in the appropriate place in each other's lives. So we go back into it, and yeah, we're talking about marriage, but we keep going back to the spiritual. God made you three parts: a body, a soul, and a spirit. We see marriages in this world that they focus on just the physical, but if it's only the physical, what happens if our bodies don't work well? If it's only emotional, what happens when my emotions go up and down? But when we're body, soul, and spirit, and that ingredient of the Lord is first and foremost, he just makes everything else fit together. We think about this, and we start off with this statement: will you? You have a free will here with what you're about to do. You're about to choose Jana. You're choosing Stephen. And this life decision is going to impact the rest of your days, and even eternity is impacted by this decision in whom you choose. Stephen, will you have this woman as your lawfully wedded wife, to live together after God's ordinances in the holy state of matrimony? Stephen, will you love her and comfort her and honor her and keep her in sickness and in health, for richer and for poorer, forsaking all others, and keep Jana only unto yourself for as long as you both shall live?
I do.
Jana?
We just had our second ad break at 9 minutes, 8 seconds. But honestly, I never set my own, or rarely. If I ever set my own, it's like to go back on the automatic ones and delete some because they put too many in there. So I wonder if she put them in herself or if she did the automatic.
You have this man, Stephen, to be your lawfully wedded husband, to live together after God's ordinance.
I wonder if these are Michelle's siblings. Oh, and then I did a quick little look through of this video, and one of the frames that I landed on, I think Miss Cindy was there. So shout out to that queen.
It's in the holiest state of matrimony. Jana, will you love him and comfort him and honor
Oh, we got Evan Stewart right there.
him and keep him in his sick days as well as his healthy days, for richer, for poorer? And will you forsake all others, Jana, and keep yourself only unto Stephen for as long as you both shall live?
I do.
Those are sweet vows. We make them today, and we spend the rest of our life living them out.
Oh, we got a good shot. Good shot of everybody. Okay. So we've got here Josiah and Lauren. We've got Jed, Jennifer, some of Ginger's kids. I think that's Laura. That's Katie. There's John. I think that's John's in-laws right here. That's a Caldwell. These are Caldwells. Oh, Derek, way back there. That's a Swanson, I think. That kind of looked like Emerson Bates. I don't know. Oh, there's Jackson. He must have been an usher as well.
With the help of God. There's a covenant between him.
Oh, yeah, more Swansons. So Jill and Derek are sitting next to a couple Swansons. There's Katie Bates. I think that's Jackson Bates right there, and Emerson. Adelaide Bates right there.
Or yourselves.
We got Josie.
In front of our friends today.
Jeremy. Oh, wait.
Living them out with the help of God. There's a covenant between him or yourselves in front of our friends today.
We got Carlin, Nathan, Gil, and Kelly Jo. I'm trying to find Anna. Come on, girl. I know you were there. Come on, girl. Where is she? I swear. That looks like Michael. It's probably not.
Okay. Can we
I can't.
please have Jana's ring at this time? Stephen, would you please place Jana's ring on her ring finger of her left hand and repeat after me. This is a token of my love.
This is a token of my love.
And with this ring, I thee wed.
And with this ring, I thee wed.
Could we please have Stephen's ring for Jana? Jana, would you please place Stephen's ring on his ring finger of his left hand and repeat after me. This is a token of my love.
This is a token of my love.
And with this ring, I thee wed.
This ring, I thee wed.
Let's
Her arms look amazing. Also, their audio isn't as good as
pray.
the pastor's.
Father, we thank you for this moment. Marriage is special. It's beautiful. It's holy. It's your idea. Here are two believers. They both confess that they know you. They both confess their commitment to you first, and now their commitment to each other. Lord, would you bless this home? Would you bless this union? Would you pour out, Lord, exuberant amount of grace upon their life? Would you meet them with new mercies every morning? God, would you give them wisdom and discernment? Would you teach Stephen how to study his bride, to learn how to dwell with her according to knowledge? Would you help Jana to honor her husband and to encourage him and build him up on even some tough days? Lord, if it be your will, would you bless him with the fruit of the marriage of the children? Lord, would
Oh. Remember when Josh, in his wedding, like part of his vows were that they would allow as many children as God gives them. I wonder if any other vows, I don't think any other vows had that in there. I think that if anything, it would be like Joe and Josiah's, or maybe Jed and Jer's. But I don't think so.
you guide their home and guide their house? We thank you for this. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Let us hear the singing? Rude.
I have the privilege, the delight to declare you husband and wife. Stephen, kiss your bride.
I'll keep you safe, I'll give you my life.
All right, we just had our third ad break at 12:39, right after the kiss. So that makes me think that she might have placed them herself, because I don't think that YouTube is that smart with their like automatic placements where they know before you even upload where to place them. He said, I'll give y'all what y'all want.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the very first time, Mr. and Mrs. Stephen Wisman.
She was surprised by that. Oh my god. Okay, so every time I see the Duggars like do the little walkout with the bridesmaid and the groomsmen, I always think about how, I think it was either Josh or Derek. I think it was Derek, but it might have also been Josh. When Jill or whoever was like walking out with one of the other groomsmen, he like stole her from the groomsmen. It was like very, very kind of awkward. Oh wow, okay. So we have like, so we kind of saw a similar photo with just like the immediate family. But we've got like all kinds of people, like, oh, Tyler was there, and we have like the Peters. Let's see what else we got. I don't know who these old people are. I would assume like Michelle's siblings or like something, because you know her siblings are much older than her. So it was interesting to me. Anna was definitely at the wedding, and so were like other of her children. But why was only Mason in the photos. Like, I'm sure there's a reason, but it's kind of weird. Okay. Alright, now it's more just like the immediate family, plus I see Uncle Jim, like the sound guy. So I think this is, oh no, I think this is like immediate family and TLC crew. Interesting. Also, it kind of looks like in the front row, it's like Jana, Steven, Jennifer, and Michael. It's like funny. Or sorry, Marcus. Like, it looks like they're like a family. Oh, damn. They're going fast. He is so cute. Okay, just Jen. Got the girls blue. Got those girls, or those kids. Okay. Okay, everybody's saying her ass is pregnant. She looks amazing right there, by the way. Her tan is tanning. She, what is that word they use now? Mogged. She mogged him. Their girls are looking a lot older. But people are saying she's pregnant. I don't know. Like, the picture they showed was from somebody's vlog. Oh, I think it was like Ginger and Jeremy's, like, coming home for Ginger's birthday vlog. And I didn't really see it. Like, it was kind of a blurry picture. I didn't really see what they were talking about. But something must be going on with Joe and Kendra, because you could count on that girl like a clock. I hope that something isn't, like, going on with them, you know? Okay, now we got Steven's family. It's funny, they have a huge family, but they look tiny compared to, like, the Duggar family. And, I mean, they're pretty decent size. What is it, like 14 siblings? And a lot of the older children have at least 2. A lot of them have, like, 4 or 5. But I think that one of the siblings, it was just her and her baby. And, like, her 3 or 4 other kids didn't go. Love that dip. Like, they love a dip. All right, we had our fourth ad break at 14:45 when they're taking the pictures outside. Okay, Skinny. Oh my god, she is really killing it. Actually, they look very in love, especially in this video. But I hate how they keep on using this music, because I feel like I'm gonna have to use like random ass sound effects instead of the music. Like, it's gonna piss me off. So the Wismans did the food. That's a lot of food, because how many people? It was like 300 people. And they have a lot of workers, so we got green beans. Honestly, people were like talking trash on this meal, but it looks good to me.
My distinct joy and privilege.
Okay, so the MC was Steven's brother-in-law. One of his older sisters is married to this dude.
To announce to you today the wedding party, beginning with Jordan Duggar and Arnie Romar.
Okay, yeah, because I was wondering, oh, that's who I think Miss Cindy is. So let me know if that is indeed her. But Arnie Romar? I've never heard of this man. I wonder if it's like an uncle. Because I was asking in the last video, I was like, who the hell is this? Okay, so they're doing little tricks. There we have Anna. Obviously, it's blurry as hell, but we have Anna. We have like a Swanson. We have some of the Bates here. Another Bates. We have a Langdon.
Next, Ginger Violo.
Wait, let me make it not go so fast, because I want to see people. Ginger Violo is also funny.
And Alan Business. Next, we have Johanna Duggar and Josiah Witzman.
I'm trying to see if we can find anybody interesting. Oh, there's the Ballingers. I think that might be a little Anna Duggar child. It's kind of blurry, though.
Next, Joy Forsyth and Andrew Witzman.
I think that might be one of Anna's. Okay. Oh my, they had to practice that one. Oh, there we have some of the Bates again.
Abby Duggar and Nathaniel Witzman.
Oh, we have like the Patton Perez people over here.
The matron of honor, Jessa Seawald, and best man, Matthias Schwitzman.
Oh! Oh, with no music's kind of crazy. I feel like she's embarrassed. That's so not a Jessa move. I'm surprised they got her to do that, but it would have been like a little less awkward with some music for sure.
And finally, your bride and groom, Mr. and Mrs. Stephen Westman.
Oh, we got Josie right behind them. What is that?
When I look back on my life, there are a few individuals who stand out as having always been there for me. And Jana, you are one of those people. But one of my earliest memories of Jana was how she liked to play hair salon with all of us younger sisters. And so she would line us up and she'd be like, you know, somehow get us like, oh, I'll give you a treat or something if you like sit here and let me do your hair. She learned how to French braid at a very young age, and she was really, really good at it. The only problem was I hated to have my hair brushed. I was very tender-headed, so I was super, super whiny. But if I could sit still and have the patience, I did always love the final result. Over the years, we've had a lot of different things in common. Things like little fad diets that we would try out.
Oh my god. Yeah, Jana was like a Weight Watchers girl along with Michelle.
Or unique hairstyles. When many of those we'd probably be very embarrassed to look back on now. But in our minds, Jana was the height of fashion. All of us younger sisters looked up to her. Oh yes, even that time when you peroxide bleached your hair. Yes, you thought it was too orange, but we were all like, oh, Jana's so gorgeous.
I feel like she's giving a little bit more personality than she normally does here.
She's so pretty. So we thought you looked fantastic. Anything that she puts her hand to do, she's just naturally good at it. Like it doesn't matter if it's gardening or building stuff. She's just super, super handy. And I think probably over the last decade and a half, you've spent more hours in Lowe's than just about anywhere else. And we would always joke, you'd say, Jana, do you have a boyfriend at Lowe's? We were just convinced that there was somebody there. The truth is that you have probably more tools and gadgets than most men in this room. That's the truth.
I feel like nobody's listening. That's so rude. I feel like some of these people are just not listening. I always want to hear the speeches.
Artistic, and you have an eye for design and beauty and creating beautiful spaces, and you can change a light fixture faster than anyone I know. Really the question is, what can't you do? Because you can do just about anything. You can sheetrock, you can tile, you can landscape, you can build a deck with the best of them. And so there's just about nothing you can't do. You really are goals. You've been there to celebrate some of my most meaningful moments in life, like being there for the birth of my babies. And we've laughed together, we've counseled together, we've cried together, we've prayed for each other, and we've watched God answer those prayers. And Stephen, I want you to know that you are an answer to many of those prayers. And so as you come into our life, I know that my role as best friend has shifted somewhat, and that's a good thing. But I know that we'll always share that tight sisterly bond. And so, Jana, I look forward to many girl days out in the future. We'll go grab our coffee and go make our Lowe's runs and head off to do our next project. But I just want to say it is such a joy to be here celebrating with you all today. And thank you so much for including us in your special day. And may God's richest blessings be on your life.
Stephen's mom's like, wrap it up, girl.
Your marriage together, and I love you both.
All right, we just hit our 5th ad break at 20 minutes 57 seconds.
2 years old, Jana, you've probably heard this story, but at 2 years old, Steven's nervous. It's okay, man, it's okay.
Okay, Nikki Glazer, come on now.
2 years old.
He'd have this thing where he'd come up to me and say, I'm 4, you're 2. For those who don't know, I am his older brother. And when I was younger, I was older than him, and with traveling, inevitably we'd be singing, and I'd come up and Steven would be talking in a group, and they'd be like, oh, is this your younger brother? It's like, no, it's my little brother, but not my younger brother. Anyway, so Steven would always go, I'm 4, you're 2. And me being a perfectionist, I lectured him. Oh, I would just lay into, no, I'm 4. Anyway, it would go on. Sure enough, it'd settle down. And Steven would come back and say, I'm 4, you're 2. And this kept going on and on. He'd get my goat. Anyway, pretty sexy humor. He'd always get the last laugh, and I would get frustrated. But his humor definitely needed refinement. Because one of these times when we were 2 and 4, Mom had old tap dancing shoes, or clogging shoes. And yeah, he found one and got this good idea of like, okay. So he come up behind me, clocked me on the head, jumped in front of me and was like, ha ha ha, like trying to make me laugh. And not so funny. So Jana, don't worry. He doesn't do that anymore.
Don't go anywhere. The first dance
They cut his speech short in this video.
is just around the corner.
Oh, our girl, Hillary. And then we have our queen of Instagram stories, Gary Ann, queen.
I think it just went together so well. There were so many friends and family that came and supported us and put everything together. Couldn't have done this without everyone. I think just from the beginning of the day, with people helping with hair, makeup, just the outfits, the food, the decorations.
The facilities were amazing.
Oh
as well.
man, it has been
a great day.
such a fun day, just celebrating with all the friends and family.
Well, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. We'll try to keep you updated with our life happenings over the next few months, and we're excited to share that with y'all.
I like his voice. You don't play around about that dip now. Look at the video, y'all. So I'm gonna look and see. We've got 343K. Also, we can see all the kind of music they used in this video. I doubt I will be able to. I'll have to like edit it up, but 343K in 4 days. Let's look at. She got 662K 2 weeks ago. All right. I still think that she should have dropped the video a little sooner. I think she would have got more views, but we'll see. Let's go jump into FUNDIE news. All right. So for today's FUNDIE news, I'm going to do another car chat on the way to the gym. But today I wanted to talk about, or one of the things I wanted to talk about was the Brianne and Samuel courtship breakup. I haven't had an opportunity to really talk about this because I was busy at work, low-key, at least on YouTube. But I was kind of shocked by the whole breakup. I was a little gagged by it because I feel like in my memory, I don't remember there ever being a courtship where it was like, blah, blah, blah is in a courtship, or blah, 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 Rodrigues child at least is in a courtship, their name is blah, 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 and like getting all these pictures and stuff, and then they break up, like, right? I remember Timothy, she said Timothy was in a courtship but never named the person, and they just broke up. Nari was as well. Of course, Renee infamously was with the guy where she wasn't respecting his wishes there. But I don't ever remember Rodrigues child like actually being like, this is my courtship partner, this scenario, blah blah blah, and then breaking up. So I really thought that this was going to be in game, and honestly it probably is for the best for Samuel and maybe for everybody involved that they broke up. However, it was going to be truly a lifetime of entertainment watching Jill and Brianne going back and forth. I thought it was gonna be like maybe like an Olivia Plath, Kim Plath situation where they're best friends for a little while and then something happens and then all of a sudden they are mortal enemies like forever. That was kind of my prediction there, but they broke up, and at first I was like, I definitely think Samuel broke up with Brianne, and really only for the reason that the next day after Jill took down all the photos and such, Jill wasn't crashing out. Like, she wasn't posting passive aggressive Bible verses. She was like posting herself in like silly filters talking about Plexus. Like, she seemed totally fine and at peace with the whole thing. I just feel like she would have been losing her mind if Brianne had dumped Samuel. Now, then I'm listening to this podcast that she was doing with one of her Plexus friends, and it seems like it was right before the breakup, and she was talking about how she was, driving her son's, Samuel's, courtship partner Brianne to the airport, and she's like, yeah, they'll probably get married this year, they'll probably get married in a few months.
She's traveling right now to take her daughter-in-law to be to the airport, if I understood right.
So we still have 10 children at home, and our one son, like I said, he's in a relationship, and they'll probably get married sometime in 2025. And then we have 3 children that are married. We have our 5th grandbaby on the way.
So I think if there was like something, kind of brewing, Jill would just not have really mentioned her at all. She would just be like, I'm taking someone to the airport, or even Brianne to the airport, but wouldn't have been like, oh, they'll probably get married soon. And she said something else about like, oh, I have 3 kids married and one's in a relationship and the rest are at home or something like that. Unless it was like one of those things where something was revealed about Brianne, like all of a sudden, and it was like a swift breakup. I think that she just wouldn't, I don't know. But everybody else I was reading, at least that I saw, it was like, yeah, Brianne definitely broke up with him because, you know, and they just gave like all these reasons. Some people were saying like she kind of came to her senses. You know, she is at her roots like a normal girl who just kind of chose this lifestyle for herself for some reason. But I don't know. And then on her Etsy or something, they were saying that she felt called to move to Alaska. So some people were like, maybe maybe it was mutual, or maybe one of them was like, oh, I don't want to go to Alaska, or I don't want to stay here and not go to Alaska, and they broke up. The only other things I saw as being the reason was, it could have been that like her and Jill had some kind of altercation. I don't know, I just don't get the vibes. I don't think that Jill would have been like regular posting selfies with filters the next day. I don't know. I found the relationship interesting because I feel like you very rarely hear of like a 19-year-old girl just kind of very much choosing this life. Let me straighten my camera. Just choosing this life, like that strict of a lifestyle without her parents being into it, when she's 19. Of course, like David, oh, okay, that's another point. Some people were kind of surprised that they would even be interested in a convert, but I was like, David is a convert. He had like just recently converted when he and Jill got married. So that didn't surprise me. I don't think that we'll have a lot of them marrying like recent converts. I think that most of them will at least be raised partially in the same teachings. But I guess I'm now on the bandwagon that Brianne likely broke up with him, or Samuel was just not wanting to go to Alaska. He didn't feel called to go to Alaska, and then it was kind of mutual. I feel like I could see that, where Samuel being like, I don't want to go to Alaska, and her being like, okay, well then I feel like God is telling us not to be in a relationship. And then Jill wouldn't feel that offended because it's not like there was no answer given, or the answer was something about, you know, Samuel's character or his faith, or something where she would feel a little bit more personally attacked. Like, it's more just like, I feel like Jill would be okay with a relationship breaking up because your calls from God being different. I feel like she'd be totally fine with that. Like, she'd be sad because, you know, you get close to this girl. But yeah, I wonder how her relationship with Heidi is going right now, quite frankly. You know, they were together over the holidays. So I'm sure she was like very excited to get like a new daughter-in-law, since she kind of had a tiff with the other one. And I bet she feels real stupid now that she's realized that she interrupted like being a part of her son Timothy's wedding reception to go take pictures of her other son and a girl that he just ends up breaking up with like 3 months later. I bet she feels real dumb. I'll insert some of those photos because they were kind of iconic. Also, I hope Philip's doing well, now that I think of it. He was seen at Christmas time, and he looked okay. So I hope that he's doing okay and is with some good people. I know that he went to go be under the wing of some pastor, so I hope they're treating him well. I hope they're good people, not too crazy. But yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say about like the recent Rodrigues news. Let's move on to some other news not in my car. It's honestly been kind of slow on the FUNDIE news front, so I'm gonna look through the Paul and Morgan Q&A and pick out little parts that I want to comment on.
What are your thoughts on influencers oversharing on their platforms?
I mean, this is pretty much all they do, and some of it I do think is real and is like their real life, but some of it I definitely think they show more of or exacerbate for views and for attention, which is really like, if you're trying to like run a ministry, which I'm assuming, I get it, it's their jobs and their business, but if you're really trying to run your ministry, I'm not sure that that's like the best way to be going about things. Yes, it gets more views, but in the end, is it really turning people away that might be interested in, like, genuinely interested in their Christian content, but you know, they just lose interest because y'all are being weird as hell?
I think there's obviously a line. I think there are lines for everyone, and some people are willing to go further than other people are. But then I do think that there is like a legit line that like no one should cross, but a lot of people do. And honestly, it's to their detriment. Like,
I honestly, genuinely do not even know what they're referring to here. Like, what is the line? I would like to know.
I feel like you see people who overshare, like, eventually they peace out, or like something dramatic happens,
It's
or
kind of hard to
their marriage falls apart.
Or in their case, you know, this is your full-time job and your views go down dramatically, which might or might not be happening in this case. It is kind of interesting to see, because I feel like they used to kind of be pretty big on the views. Of course, they were doing not necessarily shock content, but like kind of baiting people in a very different way. But yeah, I feel like eventually Paul and Morgan will have to peace out because they literally can't continue, you know, having this be both of their full-time jobs. Although right now Paul's part-time job is YouTube and his other part-time job is pickleball. So
are you doing okay after FUNDIE Friday's video about you all?
I don't even know what video.
I got on YouTube.
What now?
I got on YouTube a little while back, and I saw FUNDIE Fridays featuring new evangelicals.
Oh my
I'm just gonna look it up right now. To be honest, Morgan, I have not even watched it either.
Oh, good.
Because I just could imagine the vibes, and I was just kind of like, don't need it. All right, here it is. It's a Paul and Morgan vlog gone wrong. Reaction featuring the new evangelicals.
Oh no, I don't even want to know. Honestly, it's so dumb. What a waste of time.
Well, okay, here it is. I'll just show you guys can you see this? There it is. It's clearly
128,000 views. That is just he's wearing a shirt that says "Pickleball is life."
Tim is from the new evangelicals.
Tim, you have never picked up a pickleball paddle in your life.
You don't know that, but it's in their thumbnail. It's a picture of Morgan and I in the car where we had an argument. If you haven't seen it and you want to go watch it, it's one of our recent vlogs where I think the title is like "We Got in an Argument."
Well, to answer your question, I'm doing fine.
Oh,
I didn't even know that video existed until you told us.
This vlog gets uncomfortably real. So going back to, I could just assume that in her and the new evangelicals video, FUNDIE Friday, they're saying like, oh man, look at Paul and Morgan's vlog. They're getting in an argument, and
it's tragedy. You guys never fight with your spouses ever because you're perfect.
I'm not sure I believe that Paul did not watch the video. I feel like he has pretty much watched all those kind of FUNDIE Friday videos and usually responds to them. But I mean, honestly, if he didn't watch it, I'm kind of impressed, because I know that took a lot of strength out of him. But yeah, I could definitely see Morgan not watching it. Like, I feel like Morgan doesn't give a fuck, and she's kind of over this whole YouTube thing anyway. But yeah, if Paul didn't even care to watch it, big on him, especially with the new evangelicals being somebody he's spent time with in person.
We see college as it is beneficial for some, but everyone that's going to college is not benefiting from it like our system would like to make us think. So there's a plethora of people going to college that would do even better to just go into a specific trade school type thing.
We're investing in pickleball funds for our children.
Ooh.
So they kind of started the clip saying that they don't have like college funds for their kids or something, which I mean, if I have the means when I have kids, or if I have kids, I'd probably would start saving pretty soon. However, I do definitely agree with the take here that a lot of people overestimate like the benefit of college for some people. I mean, if you're going to be like a doctor, some sort of scientist, a nurse, a teacher, like, I get it, stuff that you absolutely need a degree for. I feel like a lot of people go to college not knowing what they want to do. I think that that's so, like, of course you can find yourself, but I think it's so stupid, especially if you're doing it on your parents' dime. I think that that's rude. Definitely if my kids were like, oh, I want to get a communications degree, I want to get a philosophy degree, I'd probably be like, I mean, you can. I'd recommend against it, but I'm not paying for it. You know what I mean? Like, if I really felt like they're going to get a degree in something useful that I think they'll be able to get a job in, I will absolutely pay for it. But Otherwise, I'm definitely like one of those people like get a trade, whatever. I also see so many people that go to college. This is one of my biggest things is I had internships all through college. I had them at pretty big companies in marketing. I work in marketing now, but a lot of people will just go get a business degree, get a marketing degree, whatever, and not have any internships and be like, why can't I get a job? It's just not how it used to be where you could just get like a really, well, unless you have like a really good network or something, but where you could just get a job pretty reliably without, some internship experience, without a network. It's just not how it used to be. So I think that especially people who go to college and aren't trying to develop a network, trying to get an internship, that's also, to me, like, I get it if you're working through school and you don't have time to do an internship, but like I see so many people who their parents are paying for college and they're not doing internships, they're not really doing anything to make themselves stand out in the market when it's so tough. Like, it's just like, bro, you're wasting like your opportunity. But yeah, I agree with them. I wouldn't necessarily, if my kid didn't feel passionate about something that needed a degree, I definitely would not encourage them just to go and fuck around and figure themselves out, because a lot of times you'll end up getting like a psychology degree and you can't do shit with that. So I kind of agree with them here.
Ooh, take that how you will. No judgment here. We respect people that are saving.
And should we be better prepared?
Probably.
Yes. Not probably, yes. And we're working on it. It's a goal of ours this year.
Now, well, where they say, we haven't been saving for our children's future. I mean, just like saving so your kids don't have to like fund your retirement years and take care of your medical stuff is just really important. I think that I'm a big saver, big frugal person. But I use and save the difference, guys. But just like the fact that he's 35, that they're not like saving money and like they're investing in pickleball. I need to get them on Caleb Hammer. Do you guys watch Caleb Hammer? Go look up like Financial Audit with Caleb Hammer. Some of y'all might like it. We need to get them on that show ASAP.
We have recently decided we are going to be posting more short form content, and we're kind of wondering, should we pull some of that over to our YouTube shorts? Right now, we're not totally sure because we're just having a lot of fun with it. We're being goofy, we're being relatable, parenting life, husband and wife life, and so we've been posting a lot on Instagram. So make sure you're following us over on Instagram because there's been a lot of short form content, and we plan on doing a lot more in the future. We may bring it over and post it to YouTube as well, but we're not totally sure yet. Maybe if you've been...
I feel like I shouldn't probably be critiquing them on this because it's just stupid, but they need to be utilizing YouTube Reels. Honestly, if they can get something to blow up, especially when they like to do the little poke the bear kind of stuff, like shock almost content, they need to be posting it on shorts, like especially if they're doing good on Reels, because shorts you can so much easier to monetize. I know it doesn't make as much as like a long form video, but it's still something. Like if content creation is going to be your full-time job, and it would be so easy, all you have to do is download your reel and then repost it to YouTube Shorts. Like, that's so crazy to me that they don't do that. Like, is this their full-time job? Like, has Paul been doing something else on the side other than pickleball? Because the fact that they're not doing that is so crazy to me. Not necessarily even to build their audience, because their reels and short form content is so much different. At least the ones I see it from Morgan than their YouTube content. But I mean, they could so easily make content that grows their audience and also is monetized. I don't know, it's so crazy to me that they're not utilizing shorts. Even I utilize shorts, and I barely do shit, and I have a real job.
How much longer does hubby, meaning me, have for the Pickleball Pro Challenge? Oh, it's a challenge.
Okay, when he said challenge, this reminds me of another point I've been kind of thinking of and wanted to make on here. I feel like if I was Paul, I would not promote this on my like Christian stuff at all. Because, it'll attract so many haters. Of course the haters will find it. But I would have, if I was trying to go pro in pickleball, I would have made it like a whole, like short form at least account that I grew organically, and it's not getting messed up with my Christian like / Reddit troll algorithm, and I would have learned how to make like slick content where you're not necessarily like teaching people, but you're showing them like the process of quote unquote becoming pro, you know, ... But you know, that would have been cool. That would have helped if he actually does make it, which he won't, with sponsorships, like having a personality and a brand, a personal brand out there. But he doesn't really do that. It's just like, girl, what do you do all day? Like, I get he has 2 kids, but he doesn't, from the vlogs, from what you show us, you don't seem to be helping that much. Like, and I don't like saying that, because obviously we're not in their house, whatever, you know, but it's just like, what you do put out there, it's like, ugh, I just wish he would do that. Like, it's not like I wish, it's like what I would do if I was him. Also, girl, I would watch that instead of those vlogs. Like, if he just puts too much boring shit in the vlog, for like, obviously Reddit people and people who are like Christians who like Paul Morgan are gonna watch it, but no like normal person. He needs to make like pickleball content that normal people would actually watch.
Challenge.
Out of these 6 months.
So yeah, I guess when we started, you said like that this was going to be a 6-month journey.
I said we would evaluate it 6 months.
Right, yes.
Which,
right, it's going to be a lot longer than 6-month journey.
Well, it was August 27th is when I wrote it on the fridge and said, this is the start date, and in 6 months, the goal is to be playing in a pro tournament.
Correct.
PPA, Professional Pickleball Association tournament. We are now at month 4 and 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Someone else asked that question too. What is your timeline for evaluating how pickleball is going and whether you are going pro?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fair question.
Fair.
I guess my answer would be 4 months in, and I went from playing a 4.0 level tournament to playing a 5.0 open level tournament in that time, which is right there. Like, the next step up is pro. I gotta be honest with you guys, like, I'm getting really nervous, but I feel so excited.
I'm gonna definitely try to remember to link this in the description, but I think it was just last weekend, Paul absolutely bombed a competition, like bombed it, and they posted his results on Reddit. So that's how it's going for him as of last weekend.
I've been doing the small things. I've been very consistent with my drilling. I've been looking for ways to up that. And so really, in the coming months, just seeing better and better results.
Honestly, I feel like God has just blessed this journey so much in so many ways. I feel like he's opened doors in so many ways and like just brought people into his life, our life, that have really like helped him climb the ladder slowly. And I mean, like I said at the beginning of this, like I would have never encouraged Paul in doing this if he didn't have the personality and characteristic traits that you need to pursue something like this. Like, he's very determined and disciplined when he sets his mind to something, and that's just proven correct.
How to keep your marriage hot when you have small children.
Oh, goodness gracious, it's hard, I'll tell you that much.
It is hard. What? It's very difficult.
Involves such an insane amount of intention and like hyping yourself up throughout the day so that you're ready to like get into that mindset.
I think it's harder for the lady.
It is.
Because as you said a few days ago, it's sad to hear, but it's kind of like, oh, when I've spent so much time with the kids, keeping up with them, running around with them, it's hard for me to flip on the sexy switch at night. And so it's a little easier for me where, I've been out and about practicing pickleball, working on stuff, working on video stuff. And
hyping up his hormones.
Yeah, all the masculine hormones are just at their full throttle. So I come home, and it's a little easier for me to be ready to go than it is for you.
With content like this, I feel like the audience is really like other Christian couples who have kids who kind of need that advice or that encouragement from other couples who have small children. One of the things I always wonder is like how much of their audience of like people who watch their videos are actually those people. Like, I really do wonder, like, what percentage are snarkers and what percentage are like regular like Christian couples. Like, what percentage of the audience are they like encouraging, and then what percentage are we just like kind of being like weird voyeurs into their life, like, because they're sharing this obviously, but it's like so weird to hear about like their personal business when it comes to like these topics.
Don't I know it?
Do you have any tips?
Well, like I said, I think literally if you know that it's your sex day, you need to be spending that entire day, and I'm speaking to myself, like getting into that mindset of like you know, sending a little text to your husband, flirting with him, or him flirting with you, or giving an extra long smooch before he heads off to work.
We did do that for a couple weeks. I'd love to get back to it. It was your good idea, but it was to make out every day on sex days or not sex days. Because the not sex days, when you make out, it just keeps that kind of like flame burning for leading up to a sex day.
Yes. We kept it up for like 2 weeks.
And it's just good for the relationship and just continued intimacy. We should get back to.
Well, come on then, boy.
You know, I saw some conversation on Reddit talking about how it was weird to have a sex day. Honestly, I just don't know I can even comment on that if it's weird, because, you know, I'm not that busy. You know, I just kind of, I have like my 9 to 5, and then I kind of just fuck around and do what I want. I go to the gym almost every day, but that's about it. And I don't have kids. I'm 23. So I honestly, like, I can't imagine scheduling something like that. Like, I feel like it has to be kind of spontaneous, for me and, like, all the girlfriends I've ever had, my current girlfriend, what have you. So I just can't, like, in my head, like, imagine it. But I don't know if I wouldn't be down if my partner wasn't to do that. Like, if we were, like, just so busy with, like, children and stuff like that. I suppose my point here is, like, I do find it weird, but at the same time, I'm not in their position. I'm, like, with, like, even having very little job, like, with Morgan and seemingly Paul. I don't want to speak on that too much because I don't really know if he has, like, another job. But I don't want to say it's weird because I'm not in that position, and I feel like I could see myself maybe doing something like that. But in my mind, yes, right now it seems weird. So I don't know. I don't want to judge them on that too far.
It's really fake and gay. And I am actually an expert on all matters that are fake and gay.